That's hot.
Good morning! It's a beautiful day here in Sweden. We got a lot of snow. That can only mean one thing. It's Christmas time. And I thought that for Christmas I would do something special. It's been requested a lot, and I thought it was time to make a blood tutorial. I will show you how I make my gore, how I make my practical blood, how I make my VFX. Because you've asked for it, and I want to show you. I want to show you how I do it. Let's take a look at it. Look at that. Snow. Winter time. The first thing you want to make sure you have is Lego, or whatever you're gonna animate with. It could be anything. If you do clay, if you do, I don't know, dolls, whatever it could be, you gotta make sure you have it. Because we're gonna set up our scene, and we're gonna build a set, and we're gonna go from there. Alright. Get your lights. Alright, we got this base plate, and we got this backdrop. That's perfect. Now we just need a set, and we need some characters. My studio in here is kind of cramped, so I can't fit the camera to get good angles. That's why I'm shooting this on my iPhone. Let's start by building a set. I'm gonna build a set for the dead bricks this time, because I've got a lot of shit to do there. If you don't know, the Dead Bricks is my Lego Zombie series that I keep on YouTube. I'm working on episode 3 right now. So that's what I'm gonna animate. I've got my story. The apocalypse is going down, there's zombies everywhere, there's total chaos, and people are dying. Perfect for some blood. So let's go. Police zombie and a main character, a survivor. Let's see. These characters. If you're familiar, you have seen them in Lego Zombie Defense 3. Jesus, my desk. My desk is a mess. I need to clean this up ASAP. I was just gonna say that I like to dust off my sets, because back in the day I used to have a lot of dust on them, and if you let the Lego set sit for a while, it will collect dust. Highly recommend getting a makeup brush, just like this soft one. You see, you can actually see the dust when I do this. So, I'm thinking we're gonna build some kind of interior for this set. Maybe like an apartment, something like that. Now that we've built our set over here, it's just simple three wall build. We're gonna start animating. Alright, so now I've animated all of the animation up to the point of the impact. We're gonna have a muzzle flash. She shoots the zombie, and we're gonna have a headshot. And for this case, I have actually already drilled holes into zombie heads, you see here. You don't have to drill in your Lego. You can just apply the blood. I like to drill in it, but you do as you want. However, now we're gonna apply a new head for the zombie. I use a variety of different bloods. I got this one, which is like a ketchup tube thing with a bit brighter blood. And this one, I mean, it has kept well. I bought it for like 2 years ago, and it's still good. And we got these ones. I love these because these are, I would say, darker blood with the thickness to it. So you could make like coagulated blood. Very good. Face on. Would recommend. Not sponsored. I don't really know where to get them outside of Sweden, but like anything that's like this blood would work. So find whatever blood you can, but I would recommend getting one thick and one thin, and one light and one dark. I would also recommend getting some Q-tips for applying the blood, or even some toothpicks, because you want to make sure to get those small details. So Q-tips, toothpicks. While applying this head, we first take the zombie It helps if you have onion skin in your animation software at this point, because if you don't, it's very difficult to keep track of where your zombie was before, or the character that you're shooting. Let's grab our blood. I'm gonna use the thick one, the face-on blood, because I like what you can do with it. And I'm gonna use a toothpick. A toothpick. There we go. Just dip the toothpick a bit like this. Carefully. Spread it out however you like. Because of the thin tip on the toothpick, you can almost paint whatever you like. And I'm just gonna make a simple splash effect around the head. Nice. You can also put some on the shirt if you want more detail, and you can just go crazy on wherever you put the blood. I like to keep it simple, not overdo it, because it looks more realistic. So there we go, and it fits perfect. I'm just gonna tilt the head a bit so that we can see it on the camera. Now this character had a hat on, so we're actually gonna make the hat fly off with some sticky tack magic. Alright, so I'm gonna actually, you might call this a bit overkill, but I have got a tiny Lego LED light, and I'm gonna plug it in because we have a muzzle flash effect now. So there you go, look at that, on, off. Now when dealing with the lights and the threads like that, you have the cord of the USB. You gotta make sure to always take a clean plate. A clean plate is essentially the same scene and the same frame, but without the thing you just added that's gonna be removed. Now it's time for the wall. We have some splatter on the wall. We're gonna do some VFX as well, but if you don't want to do VFX, this is a tutorial that you can actually do without the VFX, so that's just post work. We got our blood here. I'm gonna grab another toothpick, dip it in the blood. Let's give it a little spread here. This is hard to do because you want to place it so that it's behind the zombie, but you also want to make a natural splatter pattern. Jesus, that was a hard tongue twister. Natural splatter pattern. I like that. I know it might look a bit weird with the perspective in this camera, but in this camera it looks perfect. And some over here as well. Then you just grab another frame like that. You keep animating. Nice. Now that we've got our animation done, we're gonna put it into After Effects. If you, however, don't want to do some VFX, well, you're done here. If you want to do some VFX, then follow these steps. You don't have to do this in After Effects. It's my main VFX program I use. You can probably use whatever you want because it's simple compositing at this point. But these are the steps that we're gonna follow. Here we go. Here's the clip. First of all, you take your animation and drag it into the program. Drag it to new composition or just start new composition. There we go. Bam. And here we got the clean plate I was talking about earlier. So we want to remove the cords, and that's very easy. You just you have your muzzle flash or whatever it is you want to remove, and you have your clean plate right after. So you just split this with Shift Command D, Shift Command D again. Then you got your muzzle flash and your clean plate. So you drag this layer one frame, you move it one frame, shorten down the composition, put this layer with the muzzle flash on top of it, and now you can just simply mask out the thing you want to keep. So I want to keep this, I want to keep the light here, and I want to keep the light on her face. This should do it. Pretty rough, bad mask, but there we go. I also want to remove this one. Ta-da! This is magic. Whoops. There we go. And now you can see there are really rough edges here. So just press F, you get the feather, and pull that feathering up to about 4 or 5, and also press this little arrow to get the drop down menu and mask expansion, or mask expansion the other way, depending on what you want to remove or add. Play around with the feathering, and all of a sudden you will have a masked light, or whatever it is you masked. Look at that. It's actually pretty cool. Now let's add a muzzle flash. I've got some muzzle flashes in this project. You can use whatever you want. You can find a picture on the internet. You can pretty much use whatever you want. I'm sadly not gonna provide you with any muzzle flashes for this, but you can find the Action Essentials pack, which probably many of you know of, or you can use Action VFX. They've got great muzzle flashes. Now what I like to do with the muzzle flashes is that I like to add a glow effect. So you just go to the effects tab and search for glow, stylize glow. There you go, double click that, and you got, look at that. That's a lot more intense. So I like this because it shows the smoke better and the muzzle flash looks more realistic. And you want to go ahead and change the glow threshold to about, well, you can play around so it fits whatever you want to do, but I'm gonna keep it at 29%, and glow radius about 80, not even percent, just 80. Glow intensity, that's, yeah, right, that's the intensity of that. I'm gonna keep it like that. And now if you turn this off, you can see the difference. The smoke is much clearer and the muzzle flash gets a bit more, it looks more like a light. So now we're ready for the blood. First thing we're gonna do is go ahead and look through the frames, and here is the first frame where the impact is, and we're actually gonna start by adding some wall splatter, because this wall splatter is good, but I want it to drip. You can find different blood splatter effects wherever you go on the internet. You can just search for it, blood splatter, blood, whatever you want to search for. You can find it online, so there's lots of good ones. As I mentioned before, Action VFX has a nice one. Drag it into your project and scale it to fit. And what I need from this is the movement, because our blood looks great, but it doesn't have any movement unless you animated it. So, that's nice. We want to go from there to there, and the feeling that the blood is being shot from the head. Yeah, I like that. Alright, let's look at that. We're gonna go ahead and right click and go to multiply, blending mode, multiply. And we get a bit more see-through blood, so it blends with the background. And we're gonna go to effects and presets and search for brightness and contrast. Double click that. Now you can switch the brightness up to 150 just to get more of a red color. This blood, we need to match it with the blood that's actually in the scene, and that's why it's good to have practical blood, because we can match the digital blood with the practical blood. We're gonna do this by adding a lens blur effect. So just search for lens and the camera lens blur. There we go, and drag that up to 9 maybe. Yep. Just went ahead and saved the project. I've got, actually, this one I'm gonna provide a link to, because these are my own blood effects. My own little blood pack. So we're gonna use those. If you want, you can check them out. There's a link in the description. Perfect for Lego actually, because it's a bit more plastic and doesn't feel too realistic, but it's perfect for this kind of thing. So you want to go ahead and grab that, drag it into your scene or your composition. I scale it down a bit. You want to move the blood to the frame of the impact, which is this frame for me, and put it right either at the entry wound or the exit wound. It's up to you, but I'm gonna put it at the exit wound, and I'm gonna go ahead and add a brightness contrast effect. Switch it so it matches the bullet hole and the blood a bit better. This one is a bit bigger splat, so we're gonna add that as well to the back for an extreme impact effect. And it's important that you put the gore behind the muscle flash and the smoke, so it will blend better. Otherwise you will see that it's outside of the shot. Right click this layer and go to time stretch, and you can actually bump this down to 60%. Then it will go faster, because sometimes the speed doesn't match the clips and then you have to change it. And now in this case I've actually got some blood on the floor as well, because the blood falls, so I'm gonna put in some extra effort and add blood on the floor. You can do so much, and depending on what setting you've got, you can you probably have to do different kinds of things regarding the blood. But this is what I ended up doing. This is more than I plan on doing, but here we go. I'm gonna do some masking as well. Use the pen tool here and just mask out the thing that's gonna be in front of the blood, which in this case is our zombie character. There we go, and now we got some floor blood as well. Ta-da! And we're gonna, oh, wrong one. We are going to put it down here under these layers, because onions have layers. And we're gonna make sure that it's on the right frame and starts when we want it to start. Yeah, there. And just remove the rest. Let's look at it. Damn, I like that. Now it looks like the blood is interacting with the floor for real, and that's good. I'm also gonna do a bit of overkill, sorry for this. Let's add some blood on this sign as well. I know this is just stupid at this point, but I wanna have that. So grab this, another one. Well, you know the drill now. Scale it down, and we're gonna have it on this sign because that would look cool. Whenever you have surfaces like this and the blood doesn't fit like that, you have to do some masking. The pen tool, just follow the simple shape and it will look pretty good. Lego is very easy to do VFX for, because you can get away with a lot because of, well, it's a toy, it's plastic, it looks, it doesn't look realistic. You just have to stick with the rules of the real world, but not the looks. And a lens blur on that. There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And this one is right about there, it should start. So yeah, nice. Let's look at it. I like that. It turned out good. Turned out great actually. Let's save that, and yeah, that's it. That's an overcomplicated tutorial on how to do practical and VFX blood. I hope you learned something today, and I hope I could help you with just showing how I do my blood effects. I know you guys been asking for it for like 2 years and it was a long time ago since I did my first blood tutorial. If you couldn't follow these steps, and if it was too difficult or too boring, too easy, I don't know, let me know in the comments and I'll do another one, a simpler one, or more detailed one in depth. Whatever you want to see, I'll do it. However, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I might do some more tutorials. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you haven't. Maybe I'll see you in another video. Have a good day, and I will enjoy the snow of Sweden.